Okay, so Penn State was able to beat Indiana 33-28. They moved on to 5-2, won the season. This was not a great win, but it is a great win because it was a win. I know that sounds completely stupid, but this is a game that Penn State had to get a win. This was a must-win game. They got to snap the losing streak. They got to get back on track, and they were able to do so. Now, was this a pretty win? No. Was this a game that Penn State's going to be writing in the history books about? No. But this is a game where Penn State needed to get a win, and they did. I don't know what this team is really, but the next 3 weeks are going to be determining it. I keep hearing people say, Penn State, their season's kind of over because they have 2 losses. And, oh, well, they're out of the college football playoff race. Well, this team isn't good enough to make the college football playoff. The defense is not good enough. It shows promises of what it can be, but it's too inconsistent. Offensively, they've taken a half step back from last year. The receivers, they're not catching the ball, and they're having a hard time getting open. McSorley's losing his connection with them. They haven't been able to be good enough, long enough this year. The offense is good, but it's not what it was last year. This is not a college football playoff team, okay? I can tell you that right now. Are they a bad team? No, this is a pretty good football team, but I know that this team is not. They're kind of. This is what they are. Okay. This is not. Well, they're they're gonna just turn into something in these next 5 games plus the bowl games, so 6 games. No, this is what they are. This is a team that is not bad, but they're not what they were last year. Okay. This team, the receivers aren't good enough. Okay. Juwan Johnson, he had a decent game today. He's not amazing. He's not what he was last year. He didn't take the step up. DeAndre Thompkins, he's not catching the ball. Brandon Cole, he's not. The young guys, talent, good. But the receiving game is not good enough right now. And it's not going to be good enough because it hasn't been good enough yet. It's not just going to turn into something in these next couple games, okay? Penn State, this was a weird game because Indiana had a good opportunities in the game, but they kind of left some points on the board in some interesting areas of the game. Right before halftime, about 3 minutes before halftime, they had a fourth down and they went for it at the 10-yard line and they didn't get it. They left 3 points on the board there probably. And then in their opening drive in the second half, they fumbled and they were at the Penn State 30-yard line and they moved the ball great. Indiana was able to move the ball well on Penn State today, and they left points on the board in those situations. Now, Penn State, they were up 17-14 at halftime. Then they got up 20-14. Okay? But this is one play that really describes the difference between Penn State this year and Penn State last year. Penn State throws, McSorley throws to Polk. It goes in and out of his hands. Hamler almost catches it, but it's out of the end zone because it went in and out, and then he went backstone Hamler. But last year we catch that ball. You know what I'm saying? It's 24-17. We have last year we really never kicked a lot of field goals. We always scored in the red zone. This year we're doing a decent job, but it's not good enough. And when you leave points on the board, when you're dropping balls like that, it's like, come on, guys, like what are we doing? And that is what is frustrating because we just leave points on the board in areas where you go, we should be making that. And the offense in the first half was pretty good. We put up 17 points. We moved pretty good on Indiana. Then it kind of started to stall a little bit in the third. Indiana took the lead 21-20. But then we had this big kick return by Jonathan Thomas, and that set up McSorley to make it 26-21. We missed the extra point. Then Indiana didn't do anything. And we come down, and we're at like our own 5-yard line. And we get out to like the 35, but then we have to punt. And on the punt, they start to return. I think they're about like a 10-yard return, and we hit them, and the ball comes out, and we recover it. And that was a big. That was probably the turning point in the game, because Indiana was gonna like get the ball back. They were gonna be around the 40-yard line, the 35-40-yard line, and
they could possibly take the lead again, but Penn State got it back at the 35-yard line. It would have been like a 30-yard pass on that same drive, but they got it right back. They come down and they get a touchdown, 33-21. At that point, I kind of had the feeling of like, yeah, Indiana, they always play teams tough in Bloomington. They're always, you know, they always are a gritty team against the Ohio State and Michigans and Penn States of the Big Ten, but they always kind of fall short because they just run out of energy and they just don't. They're just not talented enough to hang with us teams for 60 minutes. And that's the kind of moment that it was like, yeah, you know, it's kind of over. And sometimes those games can get ugly because there have been times where Penn State, they just take control and they win by 20. But that really wasn't the case today. And then there was about 10 minutes left. But there was one spot, Indiana gets it back. They didn't really do anything. We get it back. We didn't do anything. They get it. They didn't do anything. And then we get it back with about 4 minutes left. It was interesting because it's like, do we ever learn? Do we ever learn? Now, at that point in the game, it kind of felt like the game was over. Indiana wasn't playing with a ton of intensity. We weren't either. The game was kind of, over. But we get the ball, and there's 4 minutes left, and we pass the ball 3 times in a row, and it takes like 10 seconds off the clock. It's like, guys, what are we doing? Like, you realize that we are up 12 right now. Why are we passing the ball? Like, seriously, it literally makes no sense. We don't need 40 points. We don't need to win 40-21. We don't need to win 33-21. What we don't need is, we don't need stupidity. And that's what you get every week with this Penn State coaching staff at the end of games. You run the ball 3 times. And we were having some success, okay? We were getting yardage, and we just passed the ball 3 times. And then you give it back to them, and then you have this stupid defense where we just give them 10, 15 yards every play. Because we don't learn. We don't learn. We don't learn from our mistakes. We just do the same thing every week in these kind of situations. We just let them go down the field, and get a touchdown. And you go, oh, who cares? You still won by 5. But then people do care because then you look and you go, Penn State, they only won by 5. But if you win by 12, you go, oh, 12, solid win on the road. But my point is that it didn't have to be. If our defense just stepped up and played like how it was playing, it would have never happened. But we just play. We let them catch the ball almost. It's just, excuse me, sorry defense, and it doesn't work. But moving forward with this team, they're going to have 3 critical games, okay? Maryland and Rutgers look like games where they should be able to take control, and they should win those games. But Iowa, Michigan, and Wisconsin, those are tough physical games. And it's really going to come down to whether our receivers and our offense can get open. If we can light up, if our receivers can get open, Jawan Johnson, KJ Hamler, those kind of guys, if they can get open and we can just light them up, because we have that advantage on Iowa, I think. If we can win that matchup, we might light them up, seriously, and nobody will expect it, but it could happen. But if we don't get open and we look anemic like how we did against Michigan State and anemic like how we did at times today and how we have had at points this year, but they really never got discovered because we were playing horrible teams, we are probably going to lose those games because Iowa has enough offensively to be able to put up points. But, that's a whole other video. So, I'm happy that we won. Indiana, this is a gritty team. They always play tough. I know it's only a 5-point win, but this is a good win. And, we had good control in the fourth quarter. It was more of like a 12-point win. But, we got to be able to finish those drives at the end of games. So, that's my takeaways. Peace out, guys.